Saccharine ballads and selfies and selfies and selfies, and here's me outside of the palace of me. Construct a self in psychosis. Meanwhile, the people were dead in their droves, and no, nobody noticed. Well, some of them noticed. You could tell by the emoji they posted. What am I going to do to wake up? The title is a lyric fragment from Kay Tempest, who's a UK writer and poet and music performer, and it comes from their song Europe is Lost from 2016. And I imagine a tourist in front of a castle, you know, looking at themselves, and then in between, you know, they're kind of an endless mirror of themselves behind, you know, looking in the bathroom mirror with the reflected mirror and this prism of self. And it really reflected my interests and care and thought process all the time as an artist in my studio and a person in the world wondering who each individual was and who I myself was and how we're relating and identifying and looking at each other. I have worked in so many different genres and fields and materials since I started making work very young, and I started with drawing and painting and then slowly moved into sculpture, and very interested in the intimacy of the miniature and the kind of vulnerability of being pulled into something. There's many small secrets and surprises through the exhibition that you have to go close and be very observant to witness, and there's a surprise and hopefully a delight into making those connections. But there's also something in combining the miniature, which is a very internal kind of state where it's just you and the thing, with the overwhelming scale of a giant piece that shrinks you into its kind of relational aspect. And I think that talks about more about the individual and society. So when you have the different scales and the different materials, it's kind of like a replica of life, of moving through an exhibition, you know, is very like moving through a carnival or a theater or a stage of any variety. Even the architectural components of this exhibition were so carefully planned in order to welcome people as performers themselves, which is so important. There's many issues in the exhibition that are socially critical, issues that are really important for people to come together on and to work together to try to solve like deep societal injustices that impact so many of us, and only through kind of group empowerment and the feeling of everybody having a voice are things possible to change. And so there's no, I'm really trying to actively dismantle hierarchy in this exhibition. I mean, I think in that way, there's something for anyone that comes into this exhibition should hopefully be able to identify something, and it's their response in what they're bringing to the show that's going to make the interesting interpretation. And that's going to be unique and distinct for every individual that comes through with their particular story and how they will perceive something in relation to their own experience. And that I wanted to really encourage and celebrate. So in that way, you know, that's why there's no labels or didactic text, because I didn't want to tell people that this is the way you should be looking at that, because there's never one way to look at something, because every individual is distinct.